Hello, hello, hello. Why do you always start like that? I say something and you go,
shut your mouth. We are so happy to be here today. We want to thank you for joining us on this journey. We appreciate the support. We hope that you walk away. It sounds like chit chat.
no, this is not chit chat.
This is shut your mouth, Snuggly Bear.
You want to get this episode ended real quick? Do the chit chat thing.
That's so wrong. That's so wrong. I'm gonna have a talk with my girls.
The Fell Podcast is officially going to go on pod war with Chit Chat Girls.
Oh my goodness.
You're dead.
Whatever. We got you. We got you.
How you doing today?
Good.
What's going on? What has been? I know I didn't even mean to ask that because I don't want to go on this rant. Like,
okay. Then why are you lying to me?
I'm not lying. I'm redirecting.
How you doing today?
Everyone knows I know you're my wife. We've been together for the past 5-6 hours. I know how you're doing. My Monica is doing great.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I just, you know what? I learned today. Someone said, "Sam, do you feel like you're real or fake? Like, do you have to transition like who you are and what you sound like when you talk to certain people, pods, or places?"
And what'd you say? I'm real fake.
I'm real to the bone fake. No, man. I mean, I literally said I feel like I'm pretty real. I mean, I could, be a little more proper sometimes, depending on the environment, if it calls for it, and who doesn't. But I think people do it in an ugly way, where you're like, if you're a friend or family, you would look at them like, who is that? Like,
well, a disclaimer. Our life is like a living podcast.
Yeah.
Everything turns into a podcast for you.
Explain.
Everything. Our conversations. I sound really loud. Do I sound okay?
No, you sound fine.
I feel like I sound loud.
You can scoot the mic away a little bit.
I'm going to be hurting people's ears.
You can scoot it away a little bit.
Everything turns into a pod. Every conversation we have, every table talk we have, every pillow conversation we have, every sit on the couch and snuggle.
Let me ask you this then. Okay, podcasting is obviously trending. Like, even getting on my nerves. Like, I look in the mirror and I get on my own nerves. I'm like, dude, there's another podcaster. You know what I mean? It can be a bit annoying.
Shut your mouth. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, how do you feel about that? Like, my passion could be golf, and then I wouldn't be here, because golf takes 4 to 5 hours to play.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel knowing that? And again, I'm not sure if people realize, like, I want a podcast. I want to start a podcast. Like, those words don't carry any weight. Like, I think the work, I think the passion, I think the understanding of communicating and wanting to put it out into the world is so important. So when you hear me talk about it, has it become that Snoopy sound where you just hear me podcast?
I think
not even a chuckle out of that?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I'm trying to focus.
This girl.
Because then you're going to get on to me. Let me focus. So I think it's definitely like a trend right now. But I guess the real question is, how do you feel about it? Like, do you feel like it's a trend? Because here's the thing. I'm trying to debate.
Not too much shade, but
I'm trying to debate. I don't throw shade, Sam.
Go ahead. If I say shade, just keep going.
Okay. Because I share the truth.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started on that lame phrase
Okay,
that everyone thinks excuses.
You know what? I just had to say
say
that because I wanted to see your face.
Yeah,
that
but
was
you,
hilarious.
everyone,
I wish I could have recorded that.
She knows
so anyways,
that. She said that like because she knew how I
We're
felt.
going to Rabbit Trail right now. It's you asked me a question. So the real question is, how do you feel about it? Because look, as far as I know, like podcasting wasn't what it is a few years back. Yeah. It was like up until COVID, whenever you would share about podcasting, it was still genuine. Yeah. And what I mean by that, it was, maybe that's the wrong word. It was still true to just the podcast app.
Yeah, yeah.
Like everyone transitioned to YouTube.
Yeah, it's like during COVID, it got super easy to do.
Right.
Both video and audio.
Yeah, and so I feel like, for me, I feel like, is it because I'm exposed to it now and I'm seeing all the people, the community that was around it? Kind of like when you buy a car and before you buy this certain type of vehicle, you don't see it. And then just when you buy it, then you start seeing all the cars that are like, oh my gosh, look at that car.
That's your position now.
Right? Yeah. And so my take on your question is it because I'm in it that now I'm like, really, everyone's doing it? Or is it because podcasting itself has changed? I think Gary Vee said it best. Like, it wasn't specifically about podcasting, but it was about how YouTube now is a TV and our phones are like the radio.
Got it.
And I'm like, you know what, it makes sense. And he was like, people just need to get on board because they're so against it. So I don't know. I guess my take is it because I'm in the community that now I see it more, or is it because podcasting has changed? Because I remember when you would talk about it, and even in our circle, Sam, you would bring it up and everyone would be like,
yeah, before COVID, do you remember?
Like, they would start snoring.
I would pitch it to so many people.
And they would be like, okay.
And I even had to get people to help me that really didn't have the gear for it. But I was just so desperate to be like, I need a co-host, because I was trying to figure out.
And now everyone thinks they can be a co-host, and now everyone wants to be.
No shade.
No, I'm just saying. I'm even including myself.
Yeah.
I mean, because now I do chit chat, and then I'm doing the Shut Your Mouth podcast, and so I don't know. I don't
even know how we got on this topic.
I'm not sure.
But
it was your idea.
Anyways, that's the problem when one is communicating is be careful how long you go, because the other person.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that I talk too much? Is that what you're saying?
You can't take everything as an attack. There's a third person in this conversation. Everything isn't.
Okay, I'm just making sure that you were talking about that third person and not me.
Not you.
Okay. Just making sure.
So no, podcasting is amazing, and I'm so glad that we're doing the Shut Your Mouth podcast and the Smack Your Mouth podcast at the same time. It's so annoying when you do two podcasts at the same time. So here's what I got for today.
Okay, tell me.
You got one topic at least, right? One or two. So I have one.
Did you hear me? At least.
At least, yeah. And so we're gonna
sí, me creo la podcaster de Fort Worth, ¿tú crees?
I'm going to translate. She said, Sam is the best podcaster in Fort Worth.
Whatever. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Anyways, so I'm going to let you start.
Okay.
And then we're going to figure out what the lesson or communication lesson is in your topic. And so, you know how it goes, girl. Just walk with me on this. Don't be so like ready to fight me on everything. Just flow with the water.
Okay, so how many times have you read something and then all of a sudden you feel all of those symptoms, or you think you have that disease?
No, hardly ever. I've never let myself be like that. But since me and you have been together, I'm very aware of it now, because you be checking me, girl, and you be like, I can just hear your main symptom one. Symptom 2, oh my gosh, look at his finger, look at his nose. Symptom 3, like you're lining stuff up with what you've read or studied. But
Snuggly Bear, is there a symptom for handsome? Because
shout out to Javier, shout out. But
you're definitely there. You're handsome.
Stop with that. We're not going to do that. I am not interested in that.
I'm sorry.
It's
Jeez.
okay.
I was just trying to give you a compliment. I know how you hate it when people say, "Oh, my wife is the prettiest. Oh, my husband's the sexiest." And then everyone turns around and, "Oh yeah, she is hot, bro.
Your mama,
oh yeah,
your mama say you ugly.
This.
You ugly. Your mama." Anyways, look, okay. Don't lose your train of thought because people are like, "Why did Monica say that?" And I have to defend myself, but I don't defend myself because I walk away from truths.
Yeah.
Yes, I say that all the time. I laugh in my head when I hear guys, and they're not from here; they're other people
in other states,
and then they're like, "Yeah, my wife's the hottest wife." First of all, I can't believe they use that word. Anyways, but they'll be like, "My wife's the hottest. My wife's the most beautiful," or girls are like, "My husband," and I can speak to the husband part. "My husband's so handsome, the most handsome," and I'm like, "Boy, your husband ugly. He's super nice. He got good he got good conversation."
You're
but
so mean because I always say.
I said, "But
handsome.
you must have the wrong definition for handsome because you
okay,
use."
well, here it is.
Handsome to me.
You're handsome to me.
And I prefer that. And so I tell Monica when we're sitting and we're listening to people speak, we've been to a lot of conferences and a lot of little things like that. And so every time it comes up, what do?
You're like,
I'm like, it gets on my last nerve. I'm thinking, okay.
You roll your eyes like Wednesday.
Like, hang with me on this, okay? They say it. Like before, I'm like, they're so respectable. Look, they dress well. They look good together. They're great leaders. Okay, I'm listening to both of you humans, right?
Yeah.
And then here comes the caveman. My wife, handsome. My wife, beautiful in the world. And now he forces me to scale her in a scale of 1 to 10, which I didn't before. And now I'm thinking, this boy don't know how to count. He thinks 2 is 10.
Dang, Sam.
And I'm not, I'm doing this to make y'all laugh. Hopefully you're getting some laughs. You know what I mean? And hopefully you're learning something. And anyways, yes. I hate that.
So, in other words, I get it. I was just being funny.
I know, but I love clarifying stuff like that because it's what I know, it's what I believe.
Shut your mouth. Thank you for joining us.
Go ahead.
If you're just now joining us, I am Monica, and that deep voice is SyM from the Failed Podcast. I am Monica from the Chit Chat Cafe. Okay, so is it my turn or your turn?
Go. Just don't throw nothing out there. I don't have to speak.
Don't throw nothing out there. Okay, so I was saying about like the symptoms and the diseases and all of that. Okay.
Yep.
So I ran across something that says that it's clinically proven that if you sleep on your back, it's better.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you sleep on your back, you get more oxygen to your brain. Your back will rest because your back is technically carrying the upper body, your upper body, and then you give rest to your knees and your legs that carry your whole body.
Okay.
And it's like proper blood flow and oxygen and all of that. So I did a little more digging, and do you know that the word for lying on your back is supine? So now I'm going to say, come on, Sam, let's go supine.
Yeah, I like it.
On our back. That sounds funny. Like lie on our back. That's what it means. Supine means to lie on our back. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
So it comes from the root word of a pine tree. When you cut it, it lies on its back to be transported. So it still is able to retain oxygen for so much longer than if you were to transport the tree upside down or chop it up. And so whenever they bring, what do they bring during Christmas?
Christmas trees.
Christmas trees, they're pine trees. Some of them are pine trees. Some of them, not all of them. Like, there's so many different types of trees. But anyways, I thought that was interesting to learn a new word. Do you like learning new words?
No, I got plenty. I don't use the ones I know.
Oh my God.
Stop. What? You don't.
That was so big-headed of you. Look at your head, bro. Look at your head, bro. You can't even fit those headphones on your head.
Did that for that response because you know that I enjoy learning new words, new language, using words properly.
Supine.
Baby, if I lay on my back right now, I can't do the pun. Okay? I'm not laying on the floor.
I just thought that was interesting. So I said all of that extra stuff.
Yes.
Just to say I learned a new word, and that new word is supine.
Okay. You know what?
It wasn't really because of everything else.
Is the lesson.
Tell me the lesson.
Okay. So I hear so many people use words that they don't need. They just like, I heard this smart person say this word, and I'm going to try it. And they misuse it. They can't even pronounce it. And it interferes with the flow of communication. Because you know how I know when someone doesn't know how to use the word? You want to take one guess. How do I know when you're using a word that's smarter than you?
Because there's a break?
No. Like, because they say it and then explain it.
Oh.
Yeah, because if it's used properly, most people can figure out what the word is. But when it's not, usually you have to define it and explain it. So that's the first key.
Got it.
But I enjoy learning new words. I learn them several ways. One is I hear people talk. Obviously, if you hang around with the same people, same circle, you're going to notice that there's a minimum of new words being used.
Absolutely.
Because your circle is limited to how they already converse. There's a level of comfort in the vocabulary that exists. So I learn new words from different professions and people outside of my comfort zone when we're describing, whether it be like in the art community or whether it be in the architectural community or if it's like a lawyer that I'm talking to. There's different types of words because I'm in a different type of circle. And so I'm always all ears. And I try to always keep it simple, even though I may know a few excuse me, complicated, longer type words. I won't use them because it makes you sound, some people, a little bit of snooty. Okay, but I do like to find words to replace like amazing. So I'm not like, oh, that's so amazing. Oh, that's so amazing. Oh, you're amazing. I don't like to use small words all the time.
Yeah.
I try to find another way to describe it. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be different.
Well, from now on, you're going to hear me say, everybody's supine tonight.
And they're going to be like, okay, we'll be right back.
Because it sounds like a soup, right? Tráeme la sopa.
Tráeme la sopa.
So, it's supine. That's my
guys,
word
supine,
of the day.
and it'll be better for you. You'll wake up more rested.
Lay on your back.
So I like that. I like that you found a new word, and because of how you described it and shared it, I think it's going to stick.
Yeah.
When will I use it?
Hopefully.
I don't know.
Only with me, sir.
No, the word.
Oh, the word.
Because you know what I feel like with a normal conversation between humans, maybe it won't happen as often. Maybe with a doctor to describe how someone was positioned.
You're going to walk into your doctor's appointment. So, Dr. blah, blah,
would you like me to sit or supine?
Would you like me to sit or supine? He's going to be like, what?
He's going to say, Mr. Iscabel, I'm going to need you to supine. Fantastic. Can you bring me some caviar and an espresso as well? Thank you.
That was funny.
No. But I feel like there's a certain area, whether it be a veterinarian, a doctor, you never know. I bet that word is used a lot. Yeah. But we'll figure it out. But I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like that. That was a good little.
Wait a minute.
That was a good warm up.
Wait a minute. Are you giving me a compliment on air?
I do all the time.
Oh.
This ain't the first or last.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Shut Your Mouth. I got a star from SyM.
You are getting too comfortable.
Yeah. You better do the hand clap for me. You can only do the hand clap for you. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, that's enough.
I even hear people screaming for
Guys,
me.
I said,
thank you.
shut your mouth.
It's my fellow teammates.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Bring us
Sam,
the next sport.
We can't, even if we spend a few seconds.
On what?
On the pod war. These guys are so funny.
Okay, I have not been addressing the pod war because I'm in a very supine position.
That's the wrong way to use it, but okay.
I'm just laying on my back.
You're just laying on your back.
I really okay, you know why?
Why?
Because I like both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's hard for me, but I think we're going to learn from it. I'm obviously observing the game on both sides, and I'm like, touche, and I'm just like, step it up, do something, say something, post something, create something, show your chops, do more than what you have done.
Yeah.
That's for whoever is listening. But I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Tell me give me something from your brain, and then I'll give you something from mine. As far as the pod war,
I think it's very entertaining. I think it's great, because we're being playful. Hopefully, everyone's still being playful.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think if it was like the girl pods doing it, like probably things would have shifted a little bit. Maybe it would have been like cat war, already. But I think it's great. I think there's nothing wrong, like, with having a little bit of fun. I mean, who else would they pick on? Like,
okay, well,
for example, if they picked on the failed podcast, it'd be too serious. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it would be too serious. You'd be like, excuse me, that is inappropriate. Please stop. And then it would be over. Like, if they picked on Chit Chat, it'd be like, really? Okay, I'm going to tell Sam, vas a ver. And then it would be over.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty cool. Like, they're picking on someone in their own ring.
Okay, so
it's not like a big guy and a little guy coming together. It's like,
so there was something said in a chat. There's one chat going on that I'm on. It's private. It's within the pod community. But and then there's obviously posts that are under the comments. And I mean the comments that are under the post. And so there was a statement that was said, and it said, awards mean nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously I know who said it, nothing but love, but it doesn't matter who said it because a lot of people would say that. Okay.
Well, I guess you would only say that. I don't know who you're talking about, so I just want to make that clear. But
in general,
yes, it's easy to say that when you feel a little like, okay, there's a possibility.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay, maybe I would say that too. Like, if I was trying to get Teacher of the Year, and a new teacher comes in and she's like amazing and blah blah blah, I'd be like, well, it's okay, I've already,
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know, I just think it's fun. I think they make our community a little bit better.
Well, they better behave. I mean, look, there's a line between being funny and making it happen, kind of going back and forth, right, throwing some jabs. But there's lines that can be crossed very easily, and I think we were talking language a while ago. I think that language is very important. You know what I mean? That it could be misinterpreted very easily. You don't have to, like, when you pronunciate something a little extra hard. Is it a reflection of someone's emotions? Getting the best of them? I don't know. I would just say, guys, play fair, play nice. I said both of them benefit from it as far as introducing new people to their podcasts. I think that. Yeah.
It kind of does remind me of like when kids in school, they say jokes like mama jokes, and then all of a sudden it gets too heated.
Yeah.
and then someone's crying, another one pushed another buttons too hard, and then there's like a little fist fight going on.
Keep it fun.
Keep it fun. Yeah, I would say just keep it fun.
I would say it's more of a war of creativity. And it's time for them to be more creative. And so back to the topic back to what I was saying about awards don't mean nothing. And it stands true to a certain extent. But in this world, there has to be a way to measure. And in a sense, the dollar is an award for time, for a product, for a service. And we stack those up and we say, I'm worth this. And we're pretty proud of it. So to me, awards do matter. They say something to a particular audience.
Yeah.
You may not be that audience, so your opinion may not matter as much. But they do say something, and they do carry weight. There's some that don't matter, but most of them, as lame as they seem, with all the negative things that come with certain awards, when you win first, you're first. Like when you win first, when you win gold, you're on the top level podium. When you win a race for F1, guess what?
But
your car is on display. You get to drink the milk.
You know what kind of stinks about awards sometimes? They're based off of not what a person is doing, but off of who the person knows.
That's true.
Because like whenever there's certain awards given, at the end of the year for students, and some students get this certain award based off of popularity versus what it really means. So what would you say to someone that maybe is like working hard, and maybe what they're doing is not suitable for the audience, or it doesn't have the popularity gain?
I think that if you're going to stand by the award meaning something and it doesn't meet your standard, then you got to not care and just don't even accept it if they give it to you. Put your foot down and say, this is where it's corrupt, and because of that, I'm out. No congrats, no acceptance, I'm good. But if you want to play, you have two choices. I'm going to change the rules, or I'm going to play by the game, by the rules. And so sometimes it is worth it to play by the rules and say, I see. I know the code. I know the cheat code. It's a popularity thing. It isn't a quality thing.
Well, I'm ready for you to change the rules.
Well, I don't know who will, but I think it's going to come a time when there's going to be a new number one award that's given in Fort Worth. It might be by our own peers, but there's going to be qualifiers that aren't necessary. There'll be a little bit popularity, but then what takes you over the top are certain things. You know what I mean? Frequency, consistency, growth, quality, you name it. And I think that whenever that comes to be, then we're truly, truly going to know who's number one. But right now, the rules are whoever is popular. Right?
Well, yeah, because if you think about it, like high school president, usually the person that wins that is the one that goes in parties and, does all this stuff. And so I never got high school president. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was like, but I got, come to me, give me advice, help me with this. No one was given an award for that. You know what I'm saying? And so, like...
Do you know that I was president of my school?
Yeah, but your school was different.
Okay.
Like, your school, no one cared. No, Sam.
Girl.
Listen, Sam. You walked in there.
He handsome to me.
Sam, you totally are missing the compliment. You changed the rules.
Got it.
You're speaking to it. You're speaking to it to what you did. You walked in there and changed the rules.
Got it.
And so, I don't know, because I know these groups of girls, and they're not known because they don't do certain things. It makes me sad, but it is what it is. At least they're not gonna
Yeah.
They're not going to win it because they're going to play into that. They're going to just keep doing what they're doing and change the rules as well.
So let me say this and I'll finish it. Unless you want to finish this topic.
No, you can finish
Okay,
it.
so the number one spot is determined the way it is at this point. Mm-hmm. Whether the award, the number one spot, has significance or not, it's still given to whoever meets the needs. Figure out what those needs are and you're playing the game. And number one matters to someone. It might not matter to you, but it matters to someone. So may the best podcast win.
That's great.
That's it. You said you had a lot to talk about. Sam, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. We don't have enough time. I'm going to have
so do you ever feel like your mind is going 1,000 miles an hour and you don't even know? Like, it's almost like this anxiety that you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get this out of my brain. My brain's about to explode.
Yes. All the time.
Oh my God. How do you do that? Like, and it's
explain
not about...
Explain the 1,000 you went through today.
Okay, it's not about like, oh, I have so much to say. Like, no way. No way, Sam. I'm not saying that because whatever I have to say, it could mean nothing to people. But I was just thinking about so many things in my head.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, first of all, like, okay, are we going to talk about this? Do I want to talk about this with Sam? Do I just, on air, do I just want to talk about it by ourselves? Like,
well, do you have one at the tip of your tongue?
So I wanted to talk about supine, which I thought it was great because I'm taking a personal goal to learn one new word a day.
Okay.
So there you go. The second thing was I wanted to talk about is, there's a lot, but I want to talk about this for sure.
Okay.
Is saying sorry enough?
That's big. Give me an instance because, okay, the reason why I don't like when someone asks a general question like that, you won't know what they believe or where they stand if they don't give a specific example. So if you let someone ask a vague question, they're setting you up to just go in circles because they can just flip-flop on you on examples. And I can't answer that statement for every circumstance, but if we can come to an agreement, whenever couples fight, whenever dogs fight, whatever, something specific, then we can come to an understanding of the dynamics of that saying. That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay, go for it. I'm listening.
Okay, so I guess I'm just going to share what happened. So,
should I be worried?
No.
I'm joking.
Rules are created because of things people do.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no rule for it, then that means people haven't done it before.
Okay.
Right? So rules are created because of people that have already done it. So there was this girl not so long ago. I want to say like a couple of weeks ago. Carly Russell.
Okay.
I think I'm saying her last name right. She's... Okay, so you know how there's been like all of a sudden, I don't know if you turned it off on your phone or not, and you don't have to answer that question because people, if they know what happened, people are going to respond to you a certain way. But you know how you get the Amber Alerts on your phone?
Yeah.
For people, for kids, for whatever. Well, there's been a lot of Amber Alerts lately. Like here lately, there has been quite a few.
Yeah.
Well, they released one for this Carly Russell.
Okay.
And she, she even had me like on edge.
You were looking for her
story, yeah, because I was trying to investigate. Like, okay, how can I help? If I see, a certain car or whatever, I'm gonna keep my eye out. Because there was even an Amber Alert. Okay, that's going to be a rabbit trail. But this young girl, she was young. She was like 13. And she wrote, "Help me," on a piece of paper. And she was in the car. And she showed it to someone. And, she was rescued. Thank the Lord she was rescued. But this girl, so I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's an older lady, like not like an older lady, but a young lady, right? And I was like, oh, this really stinks, blah blah blah. So she was on the phone with the family member, and she like screams that, there's this baby on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And she's gonna stop and help this baby.
Okay.
And so then all of a sudden she stops and helps this baby, and her phone cuts off, and the last thing the family member heard was her screaming.
Yeah.
So then it was like so crazy. Like,
Okay.
everyone was looking for her. Like, they thought she's dead, blah, blah, blah. What's going on. And she apologizes today that it was all fake.
It was her baby she found?
No, there was no baby. Everything was made up. And so she goes on, and it's she's from Alabama. She goes on and she says that there was no kidnapping, and her lawyer speaks on her behalf, and she's saying, I'm sorry. She's apologizing for her actions, and to the community, and to all the resources. Let's not forget about that. All the resources that went to be able to find her, all the volunteers. I mean, even her family.
Yeah, I'm just super scared, worried.
Yeah, and she shows up 2 days later.
Sorry.
And she's like, I'm sorry. It was all fake. So here's my thing. Maybe she's hiding something. Maybe there's more to the story.
Okay.
Right? And maybe she's threatened. So I hope everything's okay. I'd rather it be fake, and then she gets consequences there. Right?
But she didn't get a pass.
Right. So let's say I hope it's fake. Right? Because that would be terrible if it's not, and she's just saying that. Mm-hmm. But my question is saying I'm sorry just enough sometimes? Like with this situation or any situation, like people say I'm sorry like so lightly. Like, do you think that saying I'm sorry is enough?
In some instances, sorry is enough, okay? But if you use the word resources, okay? If it causes distress, if it causes money and resources and people and organizations and airtime, and if people are promoting it on Instagram and people are making money off of the views, and if you go to YouTube, it's trending, right? Then sorry is not enough. Someone has to be responsible for mismanaging that many people. Because we're already so far gone on how to behave and how to react when we need to react to things that are serious. And then you have instances like this that happen, and they're going to further desensitize us to things that need our attention. If that was real, I would want all the proper resources to go that direction. But if sorry's enough, 10, 20, 100 more people are going to do that, and the resources that I'm going to want when I find myself in that position are going to be unavailable, because they're going to have to figure out if I'm crying wolf. So what is it? It could be, girl, first of all, you're crazy. Here's the bill.
Yeah.
Even she may not have the money. Who cares?
Well, as far as I know, a lawyer costs money, right? She has a lawyer.
There's going to be something to be gained here. So if I was a lawyer and she was trending and it got all this attention, my name would be attached to her, and that's worth something, because then all these crazy people are like, this lawyer will talk to crazy people. And so just bringing awareness, that's almost like free advertising for a lawyer. So I can't hate on them. They're just opportunists at this moment. But sorry in her instance is not enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? She hurt and damaged and made people spend money. She owes somebody some money. Yeah. She owes somebody a rewind button or something. But sorry is not enough. People are crazy. People are doing crazy things for attention right now. I mean crazy, because they can't stand not mattering, not being relevant, that they'll fake being sick, they'll fake being kidnapped, they'll fake all kinds of, some things are real, but they're so extreme and they're just nonsense that people are just after that. And she was after it in a sense. So no, sorry's not enough all the time. I don't know who she's saying sorry to either. She's saying sorry like up to the universe. Like she probably didn't matter to as many people as she's saying sorry to before.
Yeah, well, it sounds like she's saying sorry to the police department and all the volunteers and to her family.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, it made me sad because then I read, there's this lady that she lost her baby and her job doesn't want to give her maternity leave.
Okay, so let's close out the I'm sorry, because that one was...
No, I'm saying, and all they said was, I'm sorry, but your maternity leave doesn't cover, your situation.
Okay, so that's a tough subject, but
sad.
But we can bring it up.
No. I was just saying, it's crazy how sorry was used in two different ways, and one is supposed to cover everything this poor mom is going through, and one is supposed to cover...
I said let's bring it up, and you said no, and then you just added more.
Okay, I'm sorry. Dang. Just tell me, shut your mouth.
No. I think we need to talk about it and just hear yourself. When you say no, no should mean no. But you just...
No. I'm done.
Okay, so I was talking to a friend, and they're listening to the chit chat, and he's having conversations with his wife, and he understands what we're doing here as far as communicating, improving communication, but they obviously hear us. So he threw out a shut your mouth topic.
Oh, thank you.
And he goes, Sam, how would you handle this and this? And I said, okay, no names.
Thank you, friend,
but
whoever you are.
But he's a good friend of mine. And so he said, okay, Sam, so the other day, he said, my water heater broke. And he wanted to go down the line and say, let me check the line. Let me check the little components in the machine. Let me make sure the gas is running good. Let me turn it off and on. Let me go down a process of elimination. Okay, that's his mind frame. Now, what do you think that his wife said? And understand that this caused a little tension between the lovebirds.
So, I think I would have said, just call someone to fix it. We need it right now.
So, she said, just buy a new one.
Yep. Okay? That's what I would have said.
But come with me. Don't jump ahead. So, okay. So, a new one is, let's just say, over $600. Okay. And so, he said... did you pay the gas bill? She's like, don't I'm kind of dramatizing it. Don't ask me if I paid the gas bill. Get a new one. Let's get it fixed because we need it. But we wouldn't have known right now because it's been so hot. So it turns out that she thought the gas bill was connected to the water or the trash bill or separate. Like it was combined with something. She didn't know it was a separate one, so the gas has been turned off for a while. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily broken. It just the gas needed to be turned on, and maybe one or two little things needed to be fixed. And he goes, but we couldn't get to a resolution. We were upset because she wouldn't listen to me. I needed to do my thing, and then she was mad because I wouldn't listen to her because I didn't buy a new one. They're both correct because I'm like, I need to be heard. You would say the same thing. You would say Momo needs to be heard. I speaking, you quiet.
I would
hear
say
me.
You better go supine, boy, on your own because I'm about to supine you, make you learn.
Girl, you trying?
Okay. So are you asking me how?
No. Just react. There's no question.
Well, I mean. I see her point.
Of course.
I mean, she's a mom.
Girl power.
And I don't know if there's kids, but I'm pretty sure she's thinking, Mama Bird, we want everyone to be safe. We want everyone to have warm water. Like, I mean, what mom would not want that?
I knew that's what you were going to say.
And so... And she probably didn't say it, but she probably doesn't want to see her husband, like, he's already working hard. She probably doesn't want to see him, like, trying to fix this and break his back trying to do it, or, make things worse.
You're right. No, it happens. I mean, my dad was notorious. When something would break, my mom would be like, "Oh my God, your dad's gonna fix this $10 problem for $1,000." Yeah. He would go to Home Depot and come back. Oh, I gotta fix this. I gotta build that. So yeah, I understand that it could become a mess.
So sometimes it's just easier.
So, but here was the question that relates to shut your mouth. Okay. He said, "Sam, how could I have communicated?" Because at that point, I told him, "Bro, it's not about you or her being right. Y'all just have to communicate properly to come to an understanding." Mm-hmm. Okay, Faces? You understand, Faces?
Yes. Okay, so I guess it's about, okay, I'll let you tell me what you feel. Tell me why is it so important for us to fix it right now. And then I'm going to talk. And the whole not interrupting is key. Because that has really helped us. I mean, hello, our kitchen light went out. And then we had a little tiff about that. And then you were like, okay, tell me why it's important to you. And then I told you. And then I said, okay, I'm ready to hear your side. But if we would have kept going at it, then maybe we wouldn't have gone anywhere. And guess what? I know that you would have said, I'll be back. I'm going to go fix it. I'm going to Home Depot buying this stuff and I'm going to fix it. Yeah. And because time passed by, we even got a smaller light for the kitchen. And it all worked out. Mm-hmm. So I think, obviously, delivery is key. Mm-hmm. And delivery comes with almost like the perfect body language.
It's body language is key, correct?
Because it can't be like you're saying it a certain way, but your body is being sarcastic. Like, that's not going to work. That's going to make me want to shut down.
I gave him a resolution. I'm going to share that and then respond. Okay. So to me, it's important for us to hear each other. Mm-hmm. Not every instance am I trying to be right or you be wrong. Sometimes that doesn't matter.
Well, I'm just kidding.
I said, okay, bro. She doesn't understand that your need to go down because he's a handyman and he loves tinkering and fixing. So it's his nature to do what he wanted. It's her job. She's the boss. Things need to get done. She signs something in the work order and things get done. Mm-hmm. So those two things are coming, they're coming up with this water heater needed to be fixed. Mm-hmm. So I said, she just needs to understand what you're thinking. And you need to understand what she's thinking. Mm-hmm. And her understanding what she's thinking is that she's the boss. Understanding at work when she needs stuff done, she just says it and it gets done. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So she's bringing that to the table. So I threw this example out there for him to help him communicate with her. I said, okay. I said, you should have told her, I need you to understand me. So I'm going to use this example. When you go, when you have an outfit and you need a pair of shoes, right? Mm-hmm. How often do you go and try on one pair of shoes and say, these are it, I'm done, I'm gone? And we both laugh. We're like, girl, don't do that. Never. Mm-hmm. I said, no. I said, she tries on a lot of shoes. Mm-hmm. Multiple shoes. Probably multiple days. Mm-hmm. Probably the perfect shoe she tried on 3 or 4 times, but she has to go in circles and circles and circles and circles. And you fall asleep, you sit there, you wait, blah, blah, blah. She goes through a process to find the perfect shoes. She understands what it takes to find the perfect shoes. Mm-hmm. And so I said, that's what I would have brought up. Maybe not that day or whatever, but I would have talked about that. And then she would have said, yeah, because I need to understand the color. I need to feel comfortable. I need the right price. All this stuff that's so important to her. Say, okay, my lady, that's exactly how I feel about the water heater. Mm-hmm. I have to go through a process in order to get comfortable and say this thing's broken, I got to get a new one. But in the meantime, if I can fix it, I'm going to fix it. It's a process, just like it is a process for you to find shoes. I'm not saying that that's the perfect example, the perfect way to communicate it, but he understood that he shouldn't have got upset and said, your idea is wrong, because he understood, like, I needed to communicate it a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Okay, react. I mean, it's fair.
No. It's good, Sam.
Yeah.
It's good.
I was just encouraging them to communicate better.
Yeah. No, it's good.
And that's what I told them.
Yeah.
And that was the shut your mouth moment.
I think sometimes we just need to shut our mouths.
That's true.
Like both sides.
Yeah.
In any relationship, whether it's a friendship or, in a spouse relationship, like I think it's key, because if we don't, then we miss it.
Yeah. This is your final thought, by the way.
If we don't, like, we miss it. We miss maybe the thing that we wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Because I think as wives, as women, as moms, the first thing we want is to be heard. Yeah. The second thing is to be safe. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so in my instance, if that was me, I would be freaking out, because I would have been like, it's going to blow up. It's not fixed. Mm-hmm. I'm going to need, So I think sometimes in general, both sides just need to be quiet so we can completely hear the other person. And it's so hard. It's so hard to like go from like a 0 to 100 and then slow back down.
Got it.
But I think on top of what you said, which was great, like mm-hmm. the process and stuff like that, I think the only thing I would have added, okay, Sam, we get it, Sam, we get it.
People think you really hate me.
Listen,
okay.
Shut no, son.
Okay.
I would just say delivery and body language are key.
I love it. That's a good takeaway. I was in a way saying, get an understanding mm-hmm. that y'all both share. It's just different in this instance. It's your shoe situation at this moment.
And sometimes you gotta walk away and let things cool down, because they can't be fixed. It's almost like trying to fix a problem mm-hmm. whenever a tea kettle is hot and you're trying to grab it to wash it.
Yeah.
You gotta wait till it cools down, or you're gonna burn your hand.
So, thank you so much. Did you enjoy today?
I did. You just cut me off.
No, I told you a while ago that was it.
I know,
final
but
thought.
I didn't say it was my final thought.
I can feel you accelerating again. Try to say goodbye.
I'm just trying to top you. I said it, though. I said it. I'm learning not to.
Girl, don't say it. Just do it.
You did good. What you said was good.
Girl, your body language is all wrong. Because I don't know why your eyes are all wide.
Boy, you better. A soup. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, final thoughts. Please, calm down. Calm down.
I love you. It was a great episode.
I love you, babe.
Hey.
You're so beautiful.
Hey. You're the most handsome to me.
It's not. I don't want to do this whole I love you, lovey-dovey thing on here.
Listen. Yeah. Snuggly Bear. Supani.
Just.
It's not Supani. You were not even listening to me.
Final thought.
How is it?
Me.
Supani. Anyways. It was a great pod. I liked it. Sorry is not enough. That was my takeaway.
No, I don't want a takeaway. I want a final thought. You got mad because I didn't give you an opportunity. I've been trying to now.
Oh, sorry. My final thought. I can't wait to do the next Shut Your Mouth.
Thank you. Okay, guys. Tune in on our Instagram. Please follow us. I don't even know. I think it's Shut Your Mouth. What's the
The Instagram?
Yeah.
The Instagram. The handle for Shut Your Mouth is shutyourmouth_podcast.
Okay, so go ahead and follow us there. What we're going to start doing is putting shut your mouth moments, shut your mouth memes, shut your mouth when something is good. Like we eat a good something like steak or fish. I want to put shut your mouth. That way you can keep up with what we're doing here on the Shut Your Mouth podcast. And so I got a little quote by the smiley face with the thumbs up, and I'm going to put it on our Instagram, okay? It's a shut your mouth. Okay, so after I read it, babe, if you agree that it's a shut your mouth, just say like this, shut your mouth, and I'm going to get it, okay? And then we'll close this thing out. Okay. Are you listening?
Yes.
Keep your distance from people who will never admit that they are wrong and who always try to make you feel like it's your fault. Shut your mouth. Guys, thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the back and forth and some of the lessons that we gave on communication, how to communicate. And obviously, sometimes we're not saying this is a lesson. It just comes out. We're trying to improve. We want to help you improve in your communication. So thank you so much for all the support and everyone that's been liking and sharing what we are doing here. Don't forget, if you want to hear more from Monica, you can find her at the Chit Chat Cafe. It is on YouTube. Just type in Chit Chat Cafe and follow them on Instagram. And also, I can't give myself a shameless plug, so I'm going to pass it over to Monica.
If you haven't yet, please follow the Failed Podcast. If you want to hear amazing interviews about failure and how challenges have changed people's lives, please tune in. There are some great interviews on that.
Everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
Yep, everywhere. And that was the host of the Failed Podcast, making sure you get all the handles. All right. Thanks for coming.
Shut your mouth.